trouble at home?
Yeah, I just got dumped in the form of a spectacularly written Dear John email.
That's life at sea.
Well, sprinkler in the chiller if you want. Hey, Fry, ready to fix that railing yet?
He's working on it, sir. Oh, hey, that was some nice ping pong action earlier.
Yeah, you're next.
How's the port serving?
Up and running, sir.
And, you bruised ego?
Repairs are underway.
You'll get over her.
And how many X's do you have, Captain?
Oh, too many to count.
So I'm learning from the master.
Yeah, as your captain, I try to lead by example.
You hear that?
Yeah.
What's going on?
You're going to hear a number of alarming things today. Just try to remember this is only an exercise. As a contingency analyst, my job is to scare you and hopefully prepare you for the worst imaginable catastrophes. We have to acknowledge the very real possibility of a global pandemic involving a highly pathogenic SARS-like virus. The World Health Organization projects this. For the purposes of this study, we've selected St. Louis. Stage 1, the long-term post-nuclear radiation effect. Stage 3, preventing widespread panic. All right, any questions?
Give a little bit. Give a little bit of your love to me. Give a little bit. Give a little bit of my love to you.
Hey, monster.
Man with the lonely eyes, I'll take his hand. You'll be surprised. So give a little bit. Give a little bit of my life for you. So give a little bit.
Hey, handsome.
Give a little bit of your time to me.
Come on, monster. Let's pick a spot.
All in, Caffrey! Name's Kavanaugh, federal agent. One of your plans has been activated. You're needed in Washington.
Which plan?
Threshold. You've just become the most important person on the planet.
Dr. Caffrey, my name's J.T. Balak. I'm
Deputy National Security Advisor. Yes, I know.
I take it you and Toto have been briefed?
On the ride over.
You wrote this 3 years ago. Do you need a few minutes to refresh yourself before we throw you to the wolves?
No, I'm good to go.
Okay, no dogs allowed. Jim, watch the mic.
From what I've heard, the Oval Office seems to think you're some kind of genius.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I have advised them on a few occasions.
Your modesty's refreshing. Now drop it. We need you to take control.
I'll do my best. How many people were brought in on this? How many know?
Defense, Homeland Security, Langley, NASA. We kept it limited per your protocols.
What about the president?
Not yet. Good luck.
Caffrey, National Security Advisor, Andrea Hatton.
So nice to see you again, Molly. Likewise.
Ladies and gentlemen, under Executive Order 221-C, I'm reminding everyone that what we're about to discuss has been classified top secret. No foreign dissemination. This image was captured by our Cheyenne Mountain facility. You're looking at the heat bloom of an unidentified object entering Earth's orbit from deep space at 2200 hours. At approximately 2212, the object made a number of course corrections.
Course correction?
That's right, Admiral. We believe it's under extraterrestrial control. We lost contact with the object at these coordinates. The Coast Guard has informed us that a naval vessel in the vicinity has gone silent. At this point, I'd like to turn the briefing over to Dr. Caffrey, a senior analyst at the Blackwood think tank. Dr. Caffrey wrote the protocols we'll be implementing tonight. Dr. Caffrey?
Thank you. Some of you may not know what a contingency analyst does. I deal in worst-case scenarios, the unthinkable. And this definitely qualifies. Now, Threshold was designed as a rapid response measure to a first contact scenario. Stage 1 of the plan calls for an immediate quarantine of the landing site or possibly crash site. After the object is effectively secured by a special ops force, the next step calls for the insertion of a red team. Now, their priorities are threefold. Confirm the presence of extraterrestrial life, intelligent or otherwise. Attempt to communicate with it, and finally to determine its intent, whether it poses any possible threat.
And if it does?
You'll find that on page 45 under the chapter heading, What to Do If We're Screwed. So, which of the red team candidates were able to get?
We got your microbiologist, Nigel Fenway.
Perfect. He's an MD with a background in pathology. Former 60s radical, stubborn as hell. If we are dealing with alien life, he'll help us figure out how it eats, sleeps, and breathes.
Well, next up, Lucas Pegg, astronautical engineer, Jet Propulsion Laboratories, Pasadena.
Great. He helped design the Jupiter probe. If we are dealing with a UFO, he'll pop the hood, tell us how it works. Also one of the all-time high Jeopardy winners.
Good to know. Number 3 on the hit parade, Arthur Ramsey.
Expert in linguistics and applied mathematics. If RET needs to phone home, he'll translate the call. The guy is brilliant.
Yeah, well, he's also got quite a gambling loser stripper problem.
We all have our vices.
Really? What are yours, Dr. Caffrey?
I only reveal those on a need-to-know basis, Mr. Kavanaugh.
Well, here's your red team. Not exactly Charlie's Angels, are they?
Let me get this straight. We could be witness to the greatest moment in human history, and you people want to keep it a secret?
Damn right. What if some kind of technology could be reverse engineered from what we encounter? Do we want it falling into the hands of other countries?
God forbid the government would give the rest of the world the benefit of the doubt.
Here's a thought. What if they're hostile? I mean, even if they're benign, their presence alone could incite worldwide panic.
Look, gentlemen, we don't know what we're dealing with. And until we do, whatever we discover stays in this room.
Finders keepers. Hey, while we're on the subject of aliens, I don't appreciate being abducted. How long is this little field trip gonna last?
Indefinitely.
So what, I'm a prisoner? That's not gonna fly.
Hey, can I talk to you in private for a minute?
Door number 1 or door number 2?
I don't know, what are you talking about?
Door number 1, you bring along a slide rule and a smile and you do what you're asked. Door number 2, you disappear into an 8x10 cell for the rest of your life playing solitaire courtesy of the federal government.
You can't do that. That's illegal.
So it's subverting national security, my friend. We're in dark waters here, okay? So I'm gonna ask you again. Door number 1 or 2?
We'll be choppering you out to the freighter with a Navy SEAL escort. Securing the vessel will be your first priority. However, we've had a slight complication. The NSA has informed us that the North Koreans also detected the object. They've dispatched a Kilo-class submarine to investigate.
How much time do we have out there?
5-6 hours at best.
What is this, War of the Worlds?
You ladies good to go?
Probably not, but I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Have we considered how this might look? Or what if they've come bearing gifts?
Believe me, Lucas, I hope they have.
10 minutes ago, you were worried about global panic.
I like to worry about things from all angles.
What's that?
It's New Testament. 1 Corinthians.
How are they gonna work aliens into their Sunday serving?
Making fun of me?
I'm just saying. I don't remember reading, and on the 8th day, the Lord created Klingons.
It's funny. No, that's very funny.
What's your problem?
Where do I begin? Is that your father's watch?
What makes you ask that?
Tag Heuer Monaco. Steve McQueen wore one. If you were a guy back in the 70s, that was a must-have item.
My dad thought so too.
Still around?
I don't know.
Whiskey 1, we are approaching naval perimeter. Repeat, approaching naval perimeter.
Roger that, Whiskey 1. Proceed with caution. Naval perimeter has been secured.
Listen up, people! We need to secure the entire ship! Get down below deck! See if we get the power online!
Heads up, gentlemen. One crew member down.
Dr. Caffrey!
I'm here.
We're clean down here, Dr. Caffrey. No pathogens, no chemical toxins, and no radiological activity.
The crew?
We found 5 of them so far, all dead. Some of them are pretty deformed.
According to the ship's manifest, there were 13 crew members on board. Where are the rest of them?
We don't know. Get your team ready, you're up.
We're on our way.
We had to trank him. His name is Gunnison, first mate.
All right, Mr. Kavanaugh, I'd like your men to search the ship for any additional life forms. Freighters like this always have stowaways, rats, roaches, silverfish. Capture them alive if possible. Dr. Fenway, you're gonna have your hands full. I want a full workup on Gunnison here and those corpses and whatever potential menagerie we find.
May I ask what it is I'm supposed to be looking for?
If we knew that, we could all go home.
What about the ship's computers? There might be a log or outgoing emails, anything that can tell us what happened.
We'll check it out.
You said you saw some kind of ghost images on the ship's radar equipment?
Yeah, odd patterns, definitely more than just static.
Ramsey, take a look. Lucas, there's a video camera in the rec room. Let's run it.
Okay.
Call us when he comes to.
Yeah.
Nice try.
All right. Lucas, you're the engineer. Any idea what we're seeing here?
No obvious means of propulsion. No aerodynamic surfaces. My God, look at the way it's folding in on itself. It's almost like we're dealing with some kind of higher dimensional geometry. Maybe a Clues-Klein manifold?
English, please.
Means I just soiled my boxers. Just a little bit.
Come on.
I think we're looking at a four-dimensional object in three-dimensional space. You see how it keeps morphing?
Yeah.
I think because we live in a three-dimensional world, you see, we're only capable of seeing part of it.
What's it doing? What's that sound?
Oh my God!
Are you guys all right?
Yeah. Congratulations, gentlemen. We've just accomplished the first task of Threshold. Confirmation of extraterrestrial intelligence.
So you're telling me you've got nothing more than an amateur videotape?
No, I'm telling you, what's on that videotape will keep our scientists busy for decades.
I'm not interested in the future. I'm interested in now. Who are they? Why are they here? Come on, dazzle us with some of your celebrated conjecture.
And you'll have to do it quickly, Molly. The North Koreans caused some friendly currents. They're due to arrive a few hours early.
Understood.
JT, any thoughts?
Look at all those sorry bastards out there. They have no idea what just dropped into our lap. They're driving home, bitching about traffic, thinking about happy hour, just going about their lives, and it could all be over.
We don't know that. We do our jobs right, they'll never know how close we came. Molly's going to need someone to run interference for her, JT. You know how treacherous Washington bureaucracy can be. She'll be pulling resources from every conceivable government branch.
Reassigning me.
Temporarily.
Thought I was on track for your job.
Right now, you have the more important one.
He's in a delicate state, probably post-traumatic stress. I'm not sure you'll get much out of him.
Did you find the captain?
No, he's missing. So is most of the crew. Of the people we have been able to find, you're the only survivor.
Good.
And why is that good?
Because they changed.
We looked at the videotape. Can you tell us what happened?
I don't know where it came from. We heard a sound first.
And the equipment started acting funny. It was blinding, and the sound, like knives being sharpened. When we came to, it was gone. Power was on backup. Then the crew started getting sick. Really sick. Having weird dreams. There was nothing I could do. These boys need help, Captain. We should call in an airlift. Captain?
It was like a forest, but the trees were made of glass.
Sir, why don't we get you down to sick bay?
In the dream I had, in the forest.
Sir?
It was like I was really there.
And we never saw the captain again. Never found his body. After that, everything went to hell. People trying to kill each other, trying to kill themselves. I hid in sickbay, but I could still hear the screaming.
And the missing crew members, do you know where they went?
No.
What about the bodies we found? What caused those disfigurements?
Listen, people weren't the same. They weren't themselves.
What about you? Are you yourself?
Take it easy, buddy. Take it easy.
You okay?
Yeah. No. Actually, I'm not okay. I'm completely freaked out.
Well, I'd be worried if you weren't. Any thoughts on our mystery object?
You mean the Christmas ornament there? Look, designing spacecraft is what I do. You know, and theoretically, there are only so many ways you can get from one star to another. Laser-assisted solar sails, fusion engines, interstellar ramjets, antimatter drives. And I gotta tell you, this thing definitely doesn't use any of those.
So what does it do? Do you think it was carrying passengers?
You saw what it was doing? Folding in on itself? Where would they be?
An unmanned probe, then.
Possibly. Or a weapon.
After you cut him down, get him to Dr. Fenway.
Takes real commitment to hang yourself. My boy here was motivated. Something must have really scared the crap out of him.
You want to see me?
Yeah, I got a little bit of alien voodoo I want to run past you here. Now, this interference pattern, it appears on every bit of equipment on this ship.
What's causing it?
We really should go out sometime. What? You don't think guys smarter than you?
I don't know. Never met one.
Yeah. Now, as to what's causing this pattern, remember the bomb they dropped over Hiroshima? The explosion was so hardcore that it permanently burnt shadows of people onto the walls and sidewalks. I think we have the electromagnetic equivalent here.
What about the shape itself?
I've got some ideas, but I need to do a Fourier analysis before I really nail it down.
Hold on, guys. I want to get some shots before you bag him.
Meticulous.
Details matter.
I think I saw that embroidered on a pillow once. You know, Caffrey, you didn't have to concoct this whole alien conspiracy theory just to get the two of us alone together.
You're boring me, Ramsey. You get that, or you need me to embroider it on a pillow for you?
I have to amuse myself somehow. You know, thanks to you, this might be my last job, ever. You ever consider that? I mean, did you think about that when you picked our names out of a hat? I mean, I was having a perfectly deviant lifestyle.
It's not all that unusual. Post-mortem muscle contractions, neuroelectrical discharges.
Discharge? No. This guy was doing the Macarena.
Look, all I know is his eyes were focused. There was consciousness. So maybe our definition of dead just changed.
Okay. Give me a couple hours. I'll see if I can get you some answers.
Any luck?
I asked our naval escorts to do another sonar sweep, but so far, nothing.
So that thing on tape wasn't tracked leaving by air. Not underwater. Where the hell did it go?
Nervous?
You really thrive on this crisis stuff, don't you?
Is it that obvious?
Worst case scenarios, what kind of person picks out for a job description?
The kind of person who lived through one.
You know what, Doc? I've been thinking.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if that object was even a spacecraft. The way it was built, it could never carry passengers. It must have been sent here for another purpose.
Huh.
Whoa. Hey, there's a wedding ring in this hand. They ever find the guy this belonged to?
Nope.
Doesn't that bother you?
What bothers me is that we're working our butts off here and nobody said Bo Diddley about whether we're being paid for this or not.
I'm not worried about that. I think we got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, well, you're not carrying 3 ex-wives on your back, are you?
You know, Doc, I mean, this is about the science. This is about the sense of discovery.
Are you kidding me? You think people give a flying fart about science? The day the Mars rover landed, what was the top story in the news?
I don't know.
Britney Spears married in Vegas. I don't know. Given the state of the world today, a little alien intervention might be just what the doctor ordered.
So you're bitter is what you're saying.
Wait, what the hell is this? Come here, Lucas.
So have you figured out what we're looking at?
If I give you the wrong answer, you're gonna make me choose a door again. It's a fractal pattern, fractional geometry, a type of mathematics that crops up in chaos theory.
What does this have to do with our UFO?
Could be some form of communication. Math is a language, and like any language, it speaks to us. This pattern is speaking to me.
What's it saying?
It's a graphic representation of an equation that describes a DNA molecule. Here, now, our DNA, the DNA of every life form on Earth is in the shape of
the double helix.
Double helix. So you actually took more than phys ed.
Keep going, Ramsey.
Now, if I translate into mathematics what this pattern is describing, things get a little bit bizarre.
Triple helix.
I can't even imagine what life based on a triple helix would look like.
Well, maybe we're about to find out.
Huh.
Whatever it is, it can't be good for the human race.
Okay, guys, let's think. We're up against the wall here. Who are they? Why are they here? What do they want? Doctor, you said you found something unusual.
Well, that's putting it mildly. These are normal human blood cells. This is a sample of blood taken from our survivor. I found the same structural changes in the corpses and in the rats and roaches, for that matter. Something evoked frighteningly rapid cellular change in every living thing on this boat. It's not unlike the work of a viral agent.
Like cancer, but more directed in its purpose.
Exactly.
The ship's clean. We didn't find any pathogens.
This is what puzzled me, and then I started thinking. most of our genetic material is obsolete. Fact is, we don't know what most of it does, but what if someone else did? What if they figured out a way to manipulate it?
How? With our mystery object, with all those lights and sounds?
No, you can't hack into someone's DNA with a signal.
Really? You used the cell phone lately? Brain tumors, Chief.
Even watching a second-generation copy made us sick.
Yeah, which reminds me, Doctor, I'm gonna have to take blood samples of the three of you as well.
Ramsey, you said the shape was articulating something.
I'm down with Fenway. Someone's trying to unzip our DNA strands and reassemble them.
So, what? We're talking about some kind of bioforming?
You've heard of terraforming, altering the climate of Mars to make it habitable. Why not do the same thing to people? Say you want to colonize another world. What do? You send troops and armada of spaceships? Wouldn't it be more efficient if you could simply send information? If you could download a program into the indigenous population and turn them into you?
Okay, hold on, though. We don't know they're trying to colonize. This could be their way of saying hello.
Listen, my ridiculously optimistic little friend, I know how to say hello in over 200 dialects. And this most certainly is not a hello.
Kavanaugh. Roger that. We're evacuating.
I was told we had at least another 90 minutes. What the hell are you doing?
North Koreans are breathing down our necks, so unless you want to stare down our 2,000-ton sub.
Are you blowing up the ship? We can't destroy the only evidence of alien life we have ever had.
Look, you have to make do with what you've got. We can't afford to let them get their hands on it. The less they know about what we found down here, the better. Hey, we gotta go. Come on, Molly.
I think it's safe to say we are dealing with a worst-case scenario. So, we move on to phase 2 of the threshold protocols. Containment and crisis management. Now, there's a lot we don't know.
Like we're the missing crew members.
Where is First Mate Gunnison?
Sleeping with the fishes, no doubt.
No one could have survived out there, much less made it to shore.
We can assume nothing, Doctor. The minute we give in to our preconceptions, we're dead. Which brings us to our object. Where did it go?
We're plugged into every surveillance satellite in the hemisphere. I can tell you this, it certainly hasn't left.
If it was here, we would have found it by now.
And not necessarily. If their technology is based on 4 or even 5-dimensional physics, they could come and go, and we'd never even know it.
We have to assume we're dealing with an intelligence so advanced that its capabilities border on the supernatural.
That's comforting.
There's nothing comforting about this.
Look, we don't have time for fear. We don't have the luxury of self-doubt. We've got to stare into the face of the unknown and make damn sure we don't blink.
Why don't you come back tomorrow afternoon, we'll run another round of tests. So, what is that, a battlefield scar?
Yeah, something like that.
Whoever stitched you up should be making shoes for a living. Let me ask you something. I understand what I'm doing here. The others. What exactly is your job title? I mean, who cut your checks?
I'm freelance. I do contract work.
So you're a ghost, huh? You're the guy they send in when they can't acknowledge they've sent someone in?
Should we be worried?
No, I haven't found any cellular damage or mutations.
So we're clean.
Sort of. I picked up some unusual activity in your mid to lower frontal lobes, both of you. Lucas, too.
Are you saying we're sick?
No, we're talking brainwave activity. See, these are theta waves. You're all generating far more than the average cognitive model.
You're saying the videotape changed the way we think?
Maybe. Anyway, I can't see any reason to keep you here now. My advice, get some rest. Even ghosts need sleep, right?
Hey, don't you ever sleep?
Can't. Still drowning in satellite telemetry. I just feel like we missed something.
Oh, drown tomorrow. You go home. You're no good to us, fried.
You're still here.
Yeah, well, I don't have a life.
What makes you think I do?
Guess I know who to call when Thanksgiving comes around. Look, get some rest. We'll need you back here in 8 hours.
Good night.
All right.
Come here.
communicate with it, and finally to determine its intent, whether it poses any possible threat.
And if it does?
You'll find that on page 45 under the chapter heading, What to Do If We're Screwed. So, which of the red team candidates were you able to get?
We got your microbiologist, Nigel Fenway.
Perfect. He's an MD with a background in pathology. Former 60s radical, stubborn as hell. If we are dealing with alien life, he'll help us figure out how it eats, sleeps, and breathes.
Well, next up, Lucas Pegg, astronautical engineer, Jet Propulsion Laboratories, Pasadena.
Great. He helped design the Jupiter probe. If we are dealing with a UFO, he'll pop the hood, tell us how it works. Also one of the all-time high Jeopardy winners.
Good to know. Number 3 on the hit parade, Arthur Ramsey.
Expert in linguistics and applied mathematics. If RET needs to phone home, he'll translate the call. The guy is brilliant.
Yeah, well, he's also got quite a gambling boozer stripper problem.
We all have our vices.
Really? What are yours, Dr. Caffrey?
I only reveal those on a need-to-know basis, Mr. Kavanaugh.
Well, here's your red team. Not exactly Charlie's Angels, are they?
Let me get this straight. We could be witness to the greatest moment in human history, and you people want to keep it a secret?
Damn right. What if some kind of technology could be reverse engineered from what we encounter? Do we want it falling into the hands of other countries?
God forbid the government would give the rest of the world the benefit of the doubt.
Here's a thought. What if they're hostile? I mean, even if they're benign, their presence alone could incite worldwide panic.
Look, gentlemen, we don't know what we're dealing with. And until we do, whatever we discover stays in this room.
Finders keepers. Hey, while we're on the subject of aliens, I don't appreciate being abducted. How long is this little field trip gonna last?
Indefinitely.
So what, I'm a prisoner? That's not gonna fly.
Hey, can I talk to you in private for a minute? Door number 1 or door number 2?
I don't. What are you talking about?
Door number 1, you bring along a slide rule and a smile and you do what you're asked. Door number 2, you disappear into an 8x10 cell for the rest of your life playing solitaire courtesy of the federal government.
You can't do that. That's illegal.
So it's a very national security, my friend. We're in dark waters here, okay? So I'm gonna ask you again. Door number 1 or 2?
We'll be choppering you out to the
Trouble at home.
Yeah, I just got dumped in the form of a spectacularly written Dear John email.
That's life at sea.
Well, sprinkler in the chiller if you want. Hey, Fry, ready to fix that railing yet?
He's working on it, sir. Oh, hey, that was some nice ping pong action earlier.
Yeah, you're next. How's the Port Serving? Up and running, sir.
And, you bruised ego?
Repairs are underway.
You'll get over.
And how many X's do you have, Captain?
Oh, too many to count.
So I'm learning from the master.
Yeah, as your captain, I try to lead by example.
You hear that?
Yeah.
number of alarming things today. Just try to remember this is only an exercise. As a contingency analyst, my job is to scare you and hopefully prepare you for the worst imaginable catastrophes. We have to acknowledge the very real possibility of a global pandemic involving a highly pathogenic SARS-like virus. The World Health...
Freighter with a Navy SEAL escort. Securing the vessel will be your first priority. However, we've had a slight complication. The NSA has informed us that the North Koreans also detected the object. They've dispatched a Kilo-class submarine to investigate.
How much time do we have out there?
5-6 hours at best.
What is this, War of the Worlds?
You ladies good to go?
Probably not, but I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Have we considered how this might look? Or what if they come bearing gifts?
Believe me, Lucas, I hope they have.
10 minutes ago, you were worried about global panic.
I like to worry about things from all angles.
What's that?
It's New Testament. 1 Corinthians.
How are they gonna work aliens into their Sunday serving?
Making fun of me?
I'm just saying. I don't remember reading, and on the 8th day, the Lord created Klingons.
It's funny. No, that's very funny.
What's your problem?
Where do I begin? Is that your father's watch?
What makes you ask that?
Tag Heuer Monaco. Steve McQueen wore one. If you were a guy back in the 70s, that was a must-have item.
My dad thought so too.
Still around?
I don't know.
Whiskey 1, we are approaching naval perimeter. Repeat, approaching naval perimeter.
Roger that, Whiskey 1. Proceed with caution. Naval perimeter has been secured.
Health Organization projects for the purposes of this study, we've selected St. Louis. Stage 1, the long-term post-nuclear radiation effect. Stage 3, preventing widespread panic. All right, any questions?
Give a little bit. Give a little bit of your love to me. Give a little bit. Give a little bit of my love to you.
Hey, monster.
Man with the lonely eyes, I'll take his hand. You'll be surprised. So give a little bit. Give a little bit of my life for you. So give a little bit.
Hey, handsome.
Give a little bit of your time to me.
Come on, monster. Let's pick a spot.
All in, Caffrey! Name's Kavanaugh, federal agent. One of your plans has been activated. You're needed in Washington.
Which plan?
Threshold. You've just become the most important person on the planet.
Dr. Caffrey, my name's J.T. Balak. I'm
Deputy National Security Advisor. Yes, I know.
I take it you and Toto have been briefed?
On the ride over.
You wrote this 3 years ago. Do you need a few minutes to refresh yourself before we throw you to the wolves?
No, I'm good to go.
Okay, no dogs allowed. Jim, watch the mic.
From what I've heard, the Oval Office seems to think you're some kind of genius.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I have advised them on a few occasions.
Your modesty's refreshing. Now drop it. We need you to take control.
I'll do my best. How many people were brought in on this? How many know?
Defense, Homeland Security, Langley, NASA. We kept it limited per your protocols.
What about the president?
Not yet. Good luck.
Dr. Caffrey, National Security Advisor, Andrea Hatton.
So nice to see you again, Molly.
Likewise.
Ladies and gentlemen, under Executive Order 221-C, I'm reminding everyone that what we're about to discuss has been classified top secret. No foreign dissemination. This image was captured by our Cheyenne Mountain facility. You're looking at the heat bloom of an unidentified object entering Earth's orbit from deep space at 2200 hours. At approximately 2212, the object made a number of course corrections.
Course corrections?
That's right, Admiral. We believe it's under extraterrestrial control. We lost contact with the object at these coordinates. The Coast Guard has informed us that a naval vessel in the vicinity has gone silent. At this point, I'd like to turn the briefing over to Dr. Caffrey, a senior analyst at the Blackwood think tank. Dr. Caffrey wrote the protocols we'll be implementing tonight. Dr. Caffrey?
Thank you. Some of you may not know what a contingency analyst does. I deal in worst-case scenarios, the unthinkable. And this definitely qualifies. Now, Threshold was designed as a rapid response measure to a first contact scenario. Stage 1 of the plan calls for an immediate quarantine of the landing site or possibly crash site. After the object is effectively secured by a special ops force, the next step calls for the insertion of a red team. Now, their priorities are threefold. Confirm the presence of extraterrestrial life, intelligent or otherwise.